That's going. Let's go ahead and send out our tweets. Make sure our Twitch page is muted, and I think we are good. Yep, seeing movement on the Twitch page. So. Hello, everyone. This is Chris Ingerson, and it is June 22nd, and this is the June 22nd TextQuest Devstream. So, today we are going to be continuing off from Tuesday, meaning we're going to be focusing on improving the wizard cutscene inside the castle. Particularly, I think we're going to be focusing up on finishing the walls and how they push you back, and getting that whole interaction taken care of. I've been messing around with particles on the side to figure out how we want to get the actual wizard introduction and exit working, but I'm not quite happy with what I have yet, mostly because I'm learning an entirely new particle system, and that's going to take a little bit of time for me to actually, be decent at those particles. Actually, once I get comfortable with the workflow, I'm using Popcorn Effects. It's a middleware particle solution that has a lot of really cool stuff in it. But once I'm comfortable with my skill level in there, we might actually have one or two dev streams soon of me working on particle systems. And that's going to be the most ridiculous thing ever, because I'm basically going to be using a jackhammer to build a sandcastle. What with all of my particles being words. All right, so let's go ahead and get started by taking a look at our current state of affairs. Currently, we have the wizard tracking the player's position. Oh, right, I forgot. We moved it so it's close enough. All right, so let's do this again. So currently, when you get close enough to the wizard, he's going to say, a word. That word will follow you. It will move forward and push you back. Now, currently we have these two extra walls that are very obviously there, and will kind of blatantly come in, and they're a little bit, they're not exactly what I would prefer, just because they pop in like that. So I think we're going to end up getting rid of the material on these walls, and instead we're going to use some visual trickery to get the larger labels that show up to basically tile themselves to look like they're forming walls, but they actually would just be single labels. The next thing, actually the first thing we're going to do is for the get back that you see here, and all these texts. Currently we get, I waited too long. Let's try that again. Currently, if you just keep sprinting, you'll actually run past it all, like that. So to fix that, what we're going to do is we're going to say, I think I got to go further back. So to fix that, what we're actually going to do is we're going to add colliders to the main labels here. And then we will basically have their colliders stretch fairly far vertically, and that will prevent you from being able to run past them. Now we only need to worry about verticality because it's going to follow you left and right. No matter how fast you run left or right, it will be able to block your path. So as long as we have colliders there, it should prevent you from actually, being able to run past it. So let's start with that. It's a nice simple thing to do. Let's see here. Gotta open up our castle, NPCs, wizard, come down here. Our phrases are fine. Let's come up here. Actually, let's open the wizard plow trigger. Alright, I'm also going to add a second wizard speech prefab. So public wizard speech. I'm going to call these wall prefabs, if I could spell prefab. The reason I want to have something different on here is because the walls themselves already have two box colliders, but we're going to need to add collisions to our... I almost forgot to turn on my streaming stuff, so give me a second. Sorry. But we don't want our walls to have collisions because we'll already have them on the actual wall objects themselves. But we need them to be on the speech prefab stuff, and I would prefer not to just constantly enable or disable them, because not all wizard speeches are actually going to need colliders. In fact, most of them probably won't. So it makes more sense to just not have it be a thing that I have to reference. Anywho. Okay, let's go back there. So that's one thing we got to do. We're going to come back down here. Let me go ahead and copy this. Highlight speech prefab. Come down here. here. Here's our wall stuff. And we might actually end up doing something a little bit different with our wall just because of the visual presentation that I would like for it. But my current idea is that it's going to basically tile each one of the words. So the left wall will say the left word and the right wall will say the right word, but both of them will be tiled to fill up the amount of space that it needs. So it's going to be interesting to see if we can programmatically detect that. I'm kind of curious. Oh, and I also believe that I know how to fix the scaling issue that we were having. So currently, nope, come on. Oh, right, it's got to compile, which of course means it's going to take forever. Well, that means I can take a drink, though. It's important to stay hydrated when you talk all this time. So currently I have my speech points actually parented to the cubes themselves, but instead I'm going to move them into the collider, or underneath the collider, because the collider itself is not scaled, the cubes are. But I don't need these guys to be scaled. In fact, I would prefer them not to be. So I'm going to reset their scale to 1. I'm going to keep their positions and rotations. Those are fine. But by resetting these to be singled out in their scale, it's basically going to be a lot easier to predict what they're going to look like. Because now if we actually before we do that, let's go ahead and change this to be 5 by 5 by 5. You know what, I bet I could make that a float because it's going to be uniform. In any case, so now if we play, we're not going to have nearly as stretched wall labels. Instead, they'll probably be fairly consistent. Oh, okay. Why is nothing moving? Oh, because I didn't instantiate. That's right. I was like, why is it broken? All right, let's go ahead and come over here. Let's close this, drag the wizard speech out. I suppose I can just drag it straight back in and call this wizard speech dash wall. Or no, we'll just call this one wizard speech. So the basic wizard speech one will be fine, and instead this one will be called wizard speech castle because it's going to be the one that's weird and needs to have a label or a collider. So let's go ahead and add a physics box collider. F over here. Or not. There we go. Why will you not let me focus on you? Okay, so we need freaking audio source stuff. Okay, so we need to thin it out a little bit. Well, actually, no, it's probably fine right there. But we do need to make it a little bit more horizontal and vertical. Let's change that to 2, and I want to say 2 again. Probably. It's probably fine, actually. Yeah, I think that's fine. Alright, so let's drag this back down here. Let's go ahead and get rid of you. Let's go back to the wizard. We're going to have wizard speech castle as our speech prefab and wizard speech as our wall prefab. The next thing we need to do is related to the actual wizard. Well, sort of. It's related to the position that I'm going to do stuff in. So let's come back down here to the plow. We want left target and right target. Right target I'm going to move down to a solid 1. So it's got 1 unit of distance between each target. Currently they kind of feel like they clump up. I feel like this will prevent that from happening. So let's see what it looks like now. Oh, actually, doesn't matter. I was going to say I should probably have turned off my collider, but it's fine. So there's that. Not bad. Now I'm going to try to run past it. I can't. Oof. That's not super great. Okay, let's see what the collider is on this. I'm a little worried that I'm getting like jostled back and forth between the 3 colliders here. So let's collider, wizard speech. Let's just select the whole thing. Let's drag this down, take a look at it. It doesn't really look like I am. No, I definitely am. I'm getting... It's probably because I'm getting pushed back a little bit by both of these colliders. I bet if I move the bottom collider forward a little bit, it will work out. It'll work out. So let's give that a try. Let's turn off the collider. Grabs, not speech point. We want right target. Let's just move it forward by like 2.9, maybe 2.95, just to be safe. So it's just going to be slightly in front of the top label, but this should hopefully prevent us from having that jostling. If it doesn't, then it means that we just have to find a better way for the walls to... Oh dear. It's hard to say if that worked or not. Because I definitely saw it move. No, it's not. Now, it could be that that problem is because the wall is snapping to its starting position while I'm near it. No, it's definitely not that. That is not acceptable. Ah, dang it. Well, phooey. I mean, there is another solution for this, and this is probably, I guess, better because it'll only be one collider. But basically, instead of having individual colliders on the actual wizard speech things, we're going to have a single collider that is disabled until it's needed, and then the wizard... so the wizard trigger will basically cause a collider to be enabled. And then that collider will move along with the text to block the player's path. But that way it won't move with the text itself. And we can safely disable it once the walls spawn. So let's go ahead and, for the sake of just testing it out, let's add a, let's see, left target, right target. All right, I'm going to add a public transform. Well, no, we'll make it a box collider. Box collider. I'll just call it blocker for now. All right, let's see. So here's our lerping. And for the majority of this time, we're going to say blocker.gameObject.setActive true. And then once we're done, we are going to say, so right about here where the wall actually starts moving, we're going to say blocker.gameObject.setActive false. All right. And in the meantime, during the meanwhile, we are going to position it similarly to our left and right label, except it's going to instantly snap to where it needs to go. Not that it really matters because it's a collider and therefore it's invisible, but we're just going to say blocker dot position. Oh, I gotta say dot transform dot position is equal to new. Well, that didn't work. New vector 3, and then we're gonna say we'll just say left target dot position dot x, left target dot position dot y, and then cache player dot position dot z. Okay. So it'll just always be sliding around, and we shouldn't have to worry about it after that. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to be a little lazy and just stick the blocker underneath our plow. Once the game compiles, of course. Can't do anything until it compiles. Alright. So... Ah! What just happened? Oh, I think I had a follower. Sorry. Ah! There's no alerts for that. Just the audio cues. Sorry, that audio cue happened literally at the exact moment that I did a shortcut. And I thought for some reason that it was a shortcut for both Unity and my and Streamlabs, which would be super weird because that tab isn't open. It's just, well, it's open, but it's not selected right now. So, interesting time for all. In any case, I'm going to call this just blocker. Let's go ahead and add a box collider, and let's position it now. So I'm going to go ahead and slide it right about here. have it be no. So 2 in the Z, 0.5x is probably fine, and we'll do 3 in the Y. So we'll move it up a little bit. And just to be sure, okay, so let's go ahead and make that 4y. I think we'll be good after that. Are these the same height? So 2 and 2? Yeah, they are. Okay, so that should be fine. I got a little bit of a lip here, but it's fine. Let's go ahead and give that a shot. Oh, wait, before I do that, I gotta assign it, don't I? There we go. And let's go ahead and disable it by default. Alright. And now to test. Can I run past it? Well, that didn't work. Okay. Well, let's not maximize on play, and I'm going to keep an eye on this thing. See if it even enables, which it must not have. Oh, it disables before I would expect it to. Okay. So let's move this back down even further. Right here. There we go. And let's go ahead and turn on maximize on play again. Man, this compilation time kills me. I really wish it didn't take me like 10 seconds to recompile. I'm looking forward to the day that they actually implement their what was it even called? Basically, it compiles. No, I wasn't compiling. It was just asset importing, so that wouldn't solve anything. That's disappointing. Unity has some fancy importer they're working on. Yay! There we go. Oh no! Well, that didn't work. Huh. So I guess I need to have a bigger collider on it. Okay. Let's go ahead and just make its X value a solid 1.5. So increase it by a whole meter. That should help. Okay. Yeah. Man, gotta figure out how to prevent the jiggling. Oh, you know what it is? It's so if it's like this and I just go to the right. Wait, what? No, that should not be the case. Even way over here, it should. Okay. Oh, I know what it is. Jeez. Sorry. I have to keep updating its position. I completely forgot about that. So, during this entire time, we need to say that. And during this while loop, I also need to say that. Okay. So that was my problem, is I wasn't. It would stop moving after the initial while loop. Alright. So let's go ahead and try that. That should actually prevent me from slipping past it. Though I do think that... Yep, okay. So if I go far enough left or right, what happens is because the colliders for the wall are angled, if I'm over here, then I'm past the collider. So when it starts to move, it just misses me. This is... I guess I shouldn't say it's a non-issue, but it actually makes me a little worried. Can I do something like this? Oh no, that's good. I was a little worried that I could like wedge myself in here before the wall starts, and that would. Okay, nope. Looks like that's impossible to do. So, I thought I fixed the leaking, but I didn't. Dang it, gotta work on that. Alright. So how to fix that? Wow, that's just very disappointing. So I mean, we can block the player's movement, but we can't trap them, because the problem is that um, this back off or this collider for the initial speech is meant to prevent you from moving past it, but that means that our starting position for the wall actually needs to be further back, which could be fine. Oh yeah, I forgot. If I'm in the air when it starts to move, it just like scoops you up. It's kind of funny. Uh, so I think the solution to this is basically to have the background, or not the background, these two walls start further back and then start sweeping forward, which is fine. I think the effect I'm going for is we'd have the initial speech, then we would have the sort of stretching like we do now. So we have, if you look, we have initial speech, words come out of that, and then we get the walls that push you back. So I think what we could do is we would have initial speech, then words, but instead of just scaling out like that, they would actually sort of scale out and tile, and they would be further back. Then they would push forward, and when they got to a certain point, that's when the main speech or the main speech text would actually parent itself to the plow. At which point everything would make sense. It would all just move as expected. So it's like this weird third of a step that I have to add to make it look smoother. But at least we got our initial plan down, which is, to make it so you can't run past the speech text. And that's technically true. So let's go ahead and stop playing. All right. So now comes one of the trickier parts, which is figuring out how to create walls of text from individual words. And actually, to get a good feel for that, I'm going to go ahead and play the scene real quick. And then we're going to pause it when the walls are fully formed. All right, and I want to take a look at these speech bubbles, basically. Ah, phooey. It's still massive, huh? Despite the fact that it's... Wait, what? Why is it scaled so strangely? That's interesting. Alright. Give me a second. Scaled to 1. Oh. No. What the heck? Speech point right, speech point right. Left wall, speech point left. It's not scaled. So how can it be scaled strange? Oh, it's because I'm manually scaling it. Duh. Okay. So instead, and oh boy, this is going to be really interesting. I'm going to have to do some weird stuff first. Let's go ahead and collapse this all for now. I'm going to make a... I guess I probably should just drag in my wizard speech. Alright. Let's go ahead and... Let's go ahead and get rid of... Well, we'll keep the wizard speech castle in there for now, but I will remove its box collider. It's not needed anymore. I'm going to drag the wizard speech out over here, just so I can look at it. Alright. So here's our label, and this is our text area, or text container is what it's called. It's something that TextMesh Pro does. And oh my goodness, that was the exact opposite. How far off did it go? Wow, that like zoomed off. All right, it keeps going. Why is it doing that? Okay, this is weird. I can't shrink it manually. It goes in the opposite direction. Okay, weird. In any case, we can manually adjust it here, fortunately. So let's say -5. Oh, so we want to go 5. Cool. Let's go ahead and shrink this all the way down to like 10 and 10 from the left. Now, it seems like every TextMesh Pro object in general is going to use rect transforms. So to get around this, actually, let's go ahead and zero these out again. And instead, I'm going to set our width to be 5 and our height to be 4. No, 2. And a width of 4. All right. So that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and shrink this down to 1 word. So this is the size of our speech text currently. This is what it's going to look like in the world. So we can actually try to shrink this label down. Probably actually don't want to go too much further than that. I can probably change its height to 1. But its width probably needs to remain 4 just because of things like shove. Yeah, so 4 looks good. And I think, is shove the biggest word we have for this phrase? Yeah, shove. All right. So let's go ahead and repopulate that. So shove. So that's the biggest word. That's what we have to take into account. Now, what we can do is if our margins, which I guess, I guess they're called margins now instead of text containers. In any case, let's go ahead and give this like a offset of 1. Now, once we do that, we can change how our overflow is done and switch to, okay, masking didn't work. Ah, phooey. Well, that's annoying. I did get an error, though. That's probably not great. So what should be possible, let's go ahead and drag this out a little bit more so we have actual full inspector. What should be happening is if we switch this, let's go ahead and set U to 0. Change our overflow to masking again. Is it still spamming it? No? Alright, let's do 1. Ah, dang it. Confound you, TextMesh Pro. So it might not actually work anymore. I don't know if it's broken or what. So what should be happening is you can set up individual masking. So if it overflows, basically, you can see that this E is wrapping because it's longer than our margins will allow for. And with masking, what should happen is the E is just not there, like it's hidden. But it doesn't seem like it's going to work very well, which is quite unfortunate. Well, I don't really know what to do here. I was kind of banking on that to be my thing. Gotta love it when things don't go as planned. So, let me go ahead and go to overflow, go back to masking. Still no error? That's weird. Masking here. Can I do ellipses? I can do ellipses. Great. So, do I want to do truncate? I would prefer not to do truncate, actually. Or truncate, whatever. Mostly because if I do that, then if I just keep increasing this at like 2, it's just going to decrease the entire... Oh, can I actually do like 1.5 or something? Yeah. It's just going to get rid of the entire letter. So if I keep going further down, you can see that it's not partially occluding it. It's just not being rendered at all. And we don't want that. We want it to gradually show more and more letters. So, hooray. Can you do extra padding? Nope. No, that's interesting. Well, I suppose we can try and do this the old-fashioned way, which I am not a fan of, admittedly. And that would be just to have straight-up canvases here. Oh, that's going to kill me. Okay, UI... canvas. And I know it's going to create an event system, but we don't need that. So, let's go ahead and come up here, which probably means that I can change our label into a regular, or not a regular TextMesh Pro, but a TextMesh Pro UGUI object. Let's go ahead and get rid of Graphic Raycaster, get rid of Canvas Scaler, get rid of this in the sense that it's just going to be world space. and all that fun stuff, which actually means that I'm going to have to do this and all the great, wonderful math that comes with having a world space canvas, which basically means having it scaled down to 1/100th of its normal size. And we'll give it a width of 500. Yep, and a width of 100. So you can see that roughly works out to be, oh right, I guess 400 is fine. There we go. That works to be roughly the same size as our actual label. But doing it this way allows me to actually resize this canvas and have the label itself have all of its text and be scaled and whatnot. And we can just have a parent above it that's a mask. Oh crap, no, that won't work. Ah! Go ahead and hit continue here. So my plan was to do something like... No, it would work. Maybe. Oh man. Yeah, this would not work very easily. Gross. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and create a image to show you what I'm thinking about right now. I'm going to change this and create a UI TextMesh Pro text. All right, let's go ahead and change its font to 8-bit font. I believe 8 is what we need. Oh, nope, okay, 36 it is. And since that's parent to our image, let's go ahead and make our image a mask. Ta-da. And we're going to hide the mask graphic, and let's turn off our parent label. Get rid of this event system. All right. So, oh man, it doesn't even look like the mask is affecting it. Well, maybe this will work. Nope. Interesting. So there's a masking one that we can do, but it doesn't look like... Huh, is it instanced? Not entirely sure. This is kind of interesting. So what should be happening, since this TextMesh Pro object is underneath a mask, anything outside of the visual region of the mask, which would be this white square, should be transparent, but it doesn't look like it's actually adhering to those rules. And it could be this. I'm a little worried that there might be a shader material or a shader problem. Man, that would just be so lovely. Don't need raycast targets, all this fun stuff. Man, everything there seems to be going wrong with this one thing. It should be super simple to do this, and it's like, nope. Because you thought it was going to be easy, I'm going to make it super hard on you. All right. So, just to make sure I'm not crazy, let's go ahead and make another image. Image. And this one, I'm going to just move to the right. So you can see there that it's being masked appropriately. Great. So TextMesh Pro UGUI must be doing something weird to prevent itself from getting culled. Because I can never have nice things. Let's go ahead and what is that's justification. Man, really? For honest and for true, huh? Man, that is incredibly annoying. UGUI and TextMesh Pro! Dang it. Great. So, phooey. Yeah, I didn't think that would actually do anything, but still, you know, doesn't hurt to try. I just want to know why TextMesh Pro, distance field, mobile, don't really care about that. So weird. Huh. Well, in all honesty, I don't know. This is very frustrating for me. Man, Man, I don't even know what I could do to mask it if it's not going to play ball with the UGUI masking. Um, okay. Well, let's go ahead and let's reset this. Revert. Here's our label. Let's go ahead and make those adjustments that we made already. So we want to change it to be 4 wide by 1 tall and change our actual input to say shove. Cool. So that part seems to work, but we still can't get anything in relation to. It's got a canvas render? Oh. Huh. Interesting. Canvas renderer, huh? And we have an index out of range exception. Okay. Let's see here. If I make this actually be parented to a canvas, will it mask? I would be quite frustrated. Let's go to masking. No errors from the right one. Arrgh! No! Stop it. Yarg. Alright, last resort. Let's see. Examples, resources, sprite assets, user guide. Here we are. See if the user guide has any. Okay. Oh, there it is. I was going to say, why are you taking so long to open? Let's go ahead and take a look, see if we can get something from this. And actually, with the modern science that is computers, let's look for a mask. There is nothing about masking, of course, in this, so we're going to have some fun here. Digital Native Studios. Digital Native Studios is the forum company, I guess, for TextMesh Pro. Let's go ahead and look for masking. Oh, so I do need to have... oh, and it might require an actual shader. Oh, dear. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Let's come down here. Go to TextMesh Pro. Mobile. Distance field masking, huh? Okay. Before we do anything with that, I'm going to go ahead and come down here to our 8-bit font. And I gotta remember how to do this because I always forget. TextMesh Pro. There's a way to do this. I just never remember. Let's come up here to Window, TextMesh Pro, Font Asset Creator. No, I shouldn't have to make 2 different things with this. There's a way to do this. I just never remember how. Alright, we're going to learn real quick. TextMesh Pro. What is it? Font instance, I believe, is what we want to do. Let's see. Maybe it's just font asset material duplication. There is a way to do this, and I do it so little that I always forget how. Material preset. That actually sounds a little bit more. There we go. Material presets. Here we are. So, and dang it, it's a video. I hate doing videos on the Devstream, so I can't do that. Okay. must have a name that includes the name of the font asset from which it was derived from. Alright, so real quick, because it is kind of important, I'm going to watch this, and I'm going to mute it. And we're not going to actually watch it, I'm going to kind of skip around until I can see what I need to see. So I need to... This is wonderful, now isn't it? Ah, okay, there it is. I think. Maybe. Okay. So it's not exactly straightforward, and instead we have to come down here, and we have to click on this, and create material preset. Okay. So now, yeah, right there. So we have 8-bit font material. This is going to be TextMesh Pro mobile masking, which apparently doesn't work. How wonderful. That is quite disappointing. What does work then in TextMesh Pro's stuff? Do any of my mobile shaders do or work? Well, that one does. Just to get an idea on stuff, I'm going to keep that as masking. Going to come down here, and we're going to change this to really? Okay, well then we'll take this back to bitmap. And oh, that's interesting. It like flipped them. Let's come back down here, and we're going to say 8-bit font. Interesting. All right, let's rename this to be 8-bit font masking. And let's see if I can select that, if it's actually going to show that name. Oh, good, it does. Okay. Oh, that's kind of annoying. I can't really rename this very easily. Yeah, it's probably storing it somewhere internal to this. Ah, I hate it when they do that. It's just like regular font materials. That's very annoying. So that means that from now on, whenever we want to select something, it's just going to say 8-bit font material instead of, just 8-bit font. Hooray. Let's go ahead and come back here to masking. But we can, fortunately, change its... Let's see, overlay. No, it's fine. So we can change this to like distance field. And I'm curious if we come back up here, if it's still going to say... That's interesting. So if it's got a shader that's broken, it looks like it doesn't show up in the field down here. But what's even more interesting is the fact that 8-bit font material is not the shader that I changed. That's interesting. Let's double click on this. It's just a regular old TextMesh Pro bitmap. Huh. Okay. So it seems like sign distance field stuff is just broken in general currently, which is not great, and is very vexing because I kind of need it for my effect. So, yay! Everyone's gonna have a good time today. Oh, man, that just kind of steamrolled all over my intentions. All right. Let me think what to do here. I guess let's go ahead and go down the list to see... Actually, no, before we do that, let's come back down here. I'm going to create another material preset. Interesting, so it looks like it just kept it. This one I'm going to call, not masking, but maybe default. Alright, so we should be able to have everything from default to material. I'm going to keep it on 8-bit font material, and then I'm going to come over here to masking. We're going to switch this to the broken shader, so TextMesh Pro mobile masking. Okay, so it doesn't break it on here, which is good, and I'm curious. Yeah, okay, so it removes it if it's a broken shader, which is actually interesting. I wonder how he does that. It's a pretty useful thing. Either way, let's go ahead and just see what we can get to actually work. Distance field does not work. Distance field surface does not work. Overlay does not. Oh, let's not do sprite. So that's super weird. So bitmap works, but nothing else, huh? TextMesh Pro mobile bitmap works, but like nothing else. That is super odd. Okay. I'm going to try something. Let's go to TextMesh Pro bitmap. All right. I'm going to go ahead and save. This is going to be interesting. Okay, so I'm going to make a new scene. Except I also hit B. So it's going to try to build. I accidentally hit B instead of N. No! Now we have to wait. Cancel. Cancel. I don't want you to build. No! This is going to take forever. Alright. Well, while that's going on, because it's going to take an eternity, I am going to go ahead and... Oh, actually, I think I have it open still, don't I? I do! Haha! So I'm going to go ahead and download the most recent version of the TextMesh Pro package. Oh, he's actually calling it final releases. That's a little worrisome. Alright. So I have source code for TextMesh Pro, which means that I can't really update to the DLLs that they have on the asset store. And instead, I need to ensure that I have source code from the forums. So it looks like this is 456. Let's go ahead and download that. Oh dear, how long are you going to take, Unity? Ah, man, that is highly annoying. Highly vexing. And let's go ahead and make sure that I haven't already done so. Okay, it looks like there's a beta 10, so I'm on beta 8. Okay. Well, once Unity's done doing its thing, we'll be able to actually work with this, but I don't actually know how long that's going to take. So, I could force quit it, which would be dangerous. Hello, Colwer. I did make a boo-boo. I accidentally hit Control B instead of Control N to make a new scene, and oh my goodness, seriously, Unity, how can you take this long to make a build? I don't even have that much in the build settings. Actually, no, I might actually have several levels that I didn't think about having in the build settings. So, hooray! Okay, there we go. Looks like it finished. I think. No, I think it canceled. I hope. Huh? It took me to splash fade. That's the first scene. Does making a build take? There we go. Okay, good. Super weird that it took me to splash fade, but okay. So I'm going to come here to a new scene, and the reason that I did a new scene is because I need to delete all of TextMesh Pro before I pull in the asset package. So let's go ahead and we'll keep everything else closed off. Let's go ahead and delete TextMesh Pro. And once we're done deleting it, I can actually import the new package, and all of the meta files should hook everything up again. Should be fine. But it's a wonderful little process. The reason that I delete it instead of just importing the new package is because I've had problems in the past with assets not changing files that needed to be changed because they already exist, and that just doesn't really quite work. Oh great, it's going to try to open it up in Unity beta, isn't it? Yep, 2017 beta. Fortunately, you can just close that and then it'll work. So hopefully with this he'll have shader fixes, because it's quite frustrating that I can't use masking right now. It's kind of necessary. Shazam! Oh, nope, it's still doing it. Okay. Well, while this is going on, hello, Color. Color? Callwire. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at pronouncing people's names. Let's see. That's interesting. It's not importing everything. What are you not importing? So these little dashes means that something's missing. How's it pronounced if it's not? Oh, that's interesting. Wait, I deleted TextMesh Pro. How can these things still exist? Okay. How do you pronounce it then? Colweir? Collar? Is it collar? No, it can't be collar. Well, we have loading bars, so I'm curious. I wonder if it actually found the meta files first. No, that wouldn't make sense. The meta files would be deleted. Maybe it found just the meta information in the temp folder? That could be interesting. I didn't have to reposition it. Normally when you... Yeah, that's interesting. Alright, well, in any case. Is this all looking fine? Yep, it's looking good. Let's go back to the castle. That's not the castle. That's the castle. Cool, and then started saying wyvern. Oh, so cool. Cool whip? Mm. that's a really hard sequence of events. Cool whip. Cool. I'm sorry. I feel so bad that I can't say it. My tongue won't do it. I guess that's also because, or why? I actually pronounce. Was that it? Really? Cool whip? Huh. Okay. Well, I'm glad I was able to pronounce it. In any case, um, well, while I'm experimenting with all these fun shaders, how are you doing today, Coolwit? Coolwit. Coolwit. It's gonna take me a little bit to get used to that. I apologize. I typically like to ask everyone who comes on the stream how they're doing. In any case, so we're going to experiment with some shaders here to see if we can get this to work properly. Let's change our material down to masking. And that means that I'm going to change this to TextMesh Pro Mobile. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. And yes! All right. It works. So let's go ahead and... So we have masking turned on. And now if I expand this to 3... Okay, that did not work the way I was hoping it would. Phooey. Which probably means that I do need to have the canvas stuff, which is a little disappointing. But let's go ahead and say UI canvas. Alright. Let's delete the event system, don't need it. Delete graphic raycaster, delete canvas scaler, and screen space, or world space. Everything else is fine. Let's go ahead and create a... Oh man, this is going to suck. This is going to be so annoying to try and do. So we're going to have image, which is just going to be empty for now. We're going to create a TextMesh Pro text object. It is going to use our 8-bit font. It is going to use 8-bit font masking. And we're going to add a mask component to this. I'm going to turn off. We're going to turn off this label. TextMesh Pro text. Oh, right, it's canvas. I gotta scale it. Duh. Well, technically my day only started 55 minutes, so thus far I've been tired. Huh. Well, alright then. Early morning, huh? So let's go ahead and say a width of 40. 400 is what it's going to be. And a height of 100, and then we have to scale it down because it's a world space canvas by 100, otherwise it's going to look terrible. Alright. No! No! The masking still isn't working! No! Dang it! Ah, even with the right shader, you still don't work. Oh, that's so disappointing. Well, what can we do to fix that? Yeah, we just had a bunch of shader compilations that we had to fix by updating the project, or updating the asset. But it looks like it's just not going to do... Oh, wait, hold on. Dang it! I was hoping that would work. Okay. Okay. Um, there has to be a way to do this. There has to be a way to force this somehow. Okay, let's go back down here to masking. Maybe there's a setting here in masking that I have to do. Stencil ID, maybe? No, I shouldn't have to do that. Stencil ID of 1 versus masking mask ID. If I change the stencil ID to 1, well, no, it's right there, yeah. So it automatically did it. So I made an instance, okay. Yes. I think I can get this. Somehow. Maybe. I haven't really done a lot with masking and TextMesh Pro masking. So, well, it looks like I would assume that it would automatically try to take care of all the masking parameters for you, but it might just have some weird hang up right now. Let me see. I don't remember if TextMesh Pro had an options thing. No, I don't think it has preferences either. No, it doesn't. Okay. So, what to do here? Well, let's change our text to say shove because that's the longest word we have to deal with. Do this. Okay. And finally, so does it look like everything else is going to go? Yeah, it looks fine. Maybe I need to actually have a sprite filled in here. So let's go ahead and say solid sliced. Nope. Dang. I really hope I don't need to have a custom material for this. Let's go ahead and say mask. Oh, I thought for a second that it did something. It's like, nope, it didn't. And we just have sprite mask and sprite reverse mask, which I know for a fact that sprite reverse mask does not work, because that's something I tried a long time ago, and I couldn't get it to work. Very disappointing. Let's see. Man, that's really frustrating. Let's go ahead and shorten this to width of maybe 150. No, it's still not going to do anything. Even if I force that, it's just going to overflow. Yarg. That's really frustrating, especially because everything else works. So it's not like it's not detecting that it needs to mask it. It just isn't masking it. Man. Okay. Well, real quick. It's been a very forum heavy day. I can't talk today. I don't know what it is. Let's go ahead and see if we can get something on masking here. Let's see, masking the UGUI canvas, real world canvas, blah blah blah. I wonder if the canvas actually has to be in a specific format. That would be kind of weird. So non-canvas masking. Did I just say yarg? I wouldn't doubt it. I tend to make a lot of weird sounds. Yarg, blarg, fooey. I don't know, what have you. I try to switch it up every now and then. Let's see. Same thing as current mobile masking shader. World space masking shader. The shader is slightly different in that it uses world space coordinates instead of object space. Non-canvas masking. Working examples are UGUI, soft mask shader keyword attached here, for example, 2 years old, no longer applicable. Let's see. Since the canvas uses a different coordinate system, you need to use a different shader for masking. The only differences between normal mobile shader and this new shader is conversion of vertex position into world space. Make sure you place the shader with the others. Define the masking region. Oh, here we are. Set the clip rect values in the material inspector debug panel section. Maybe that is something I need to do. So let's come down here. Are you saying that you don't make very strange sounds whenever you're frustrated? Because I tend to do that a lot. Let's see, perspective, mask. Oh, that's what it... No, that can't be what it means by mask texture. Hello, the Gelmega. Welcome back. How are you doing today? So let's try and have this be a solid. See if this will actually do something. Something tells me that it won't. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that mask texture is not. Okay, well I can inverse the mask. Let's look for... No, mask isn't going to work. Let's look for a simple texture somewhere. Something that's got something like this. Here we go. Let's do that. Well, that didn't work either. Okay. So maybe it wasn't the best idea. Here we go. Clip rect. Okay. Negative 32,000? Well, that seems highly unnecessary. Is that what it is here? It is. Okay. Well, let me try changing that. So left. So we start at the bottom left with these two coordinates, and we move to the top right. So, tend to use a lot of profanity when you're frustrated. I do that too, sometimes too, but I try not to do that on the stream. So what am I doing? I'm currently trying, and actually to give you a sense of like what the end goal is here. Let's go ahead and delete this. So currently I'm reworking the wizard cutscene in the castle to be a lot more interactive, because in the past it was just kind of like, boop, there's a wall here and you can't get through it, and instead now we have this, an actual wall that shoves you back if you try to get too close. So if you keep running up here, the wizard's going to keep speaking, he's going to shove you back, and that'll basically keep happening until the king is petrified and then the wizard makes his escape. But we're trying to figure out a way to make these two giant walls that you see pop up behind the initial speech basically tile, but I can't really get it to tile cleanly without masking, and I basically hit a roadblock with masking, so I'm trying to fix that right now. But I've never really done masking in regards to Text Mesh Pro, so it's kind of been a learning experience. Yeah, the actual wall. Okay. Yeah, now we're trying to do something a little bit fancier to make the phrase that the wizard speaks feel a little bit more imposing by having his words scale out and then tile and make the walls themselves instead of being just the word magic. In any case, so yeah, let's change our clip rect a little bit. Let's turn this back on, and let's get our masking. Extra settings. Shrink this down to 0 again. And we're going to change this. So let's start messing with these values. I guess I don't really know. So it looks like it's all the same in each direction, just negative, negative, and then positive, positive. So I'm going to copy these, or copy that value just so that if I mess it up, I can paste it in again. So let's change this to something like negative. That's interesting. Okay. Let's do negative 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, and 0.1. It kind of looks like it's just masking the actual texture, though, and that's not really what I want. Is this still set on masking? Yeah, it doesn't look like it actually affected it whatsoever. So that's not right. Hooray. So negative, negative, positive, and positive. Okay, so that's what it should be, I guess. No, I don't want ratios. I don't even know if I can really do much with this. Let's go ahead and try something like this texture. No, it's not going to work like that. Phooey. Working on my math library. It's something like the third rewrite. And when it's done, I'm going to plan a huge refactor to make it more efficient. Refactoring. The rabbit hole that every programmer loves. So it seems like the clip-rect is on everything, but it also looks like it's not quite what we would expect. I'm going to go ahead and download this shader. When was this done? It was done in June, so that's actually pretty good. That's a good chance that it's going to be up to date. Is it weird that I'm stalking your Twitter pictures? It's not like I have a lot of Twitter pictures to stalk, honestly. I don't even know if I'm in any of my Twitter pictures, actually. I don't think I am. I tend to be the one taking pictures, not the one whose picture is taken. In any case, I'm going to go ahead and add this shader. I'm just going to put it right there for now. So let's put it here. All right. Oh, dear. Wait, did it try to... Oh, no, that's not good. What just happened? Okay. That is so weird. Hold on. TextMesh Pro Mobile. Okay, so it's working there. Let's disable this canvas, turn this on, and I'm going to go ahead and load this up. It's in masking now. I'm going to change this masking shader to be TextMesh Pro Mobile World Space, and it's broken. Yay. Okay, so that has to stay bitmap. Oh, man. Really? 300, though? That's a lot of Twitter pictures still. I don't even know what I would have taken pictures of like 300 times. Okay. I guess I probably took a couple of conventions and whatnot, but not like 300. Man, okay. So, back to the forums. I feel really bad that I'm making you guys sit here watching me read forum posts. I always hate going into forums on the Devstream because it just makes me feel like I'm not doing a good job of showing you guys cool stuff because I don't know how to do it. Jeez. Let's take a look at some of the other masking. Let's see, rect mask 2D issue. See if we can get anything. No. Feedback support, masking multiple TextMesh pros, feedback and bug reports, UGUI masking, regular masking, not 2D rect. Where are you? Masking. And it could be that masking is not doing what I would expect it to do, basically, or doesn't do what I would expect it to do, because it's currently not doing what I would expect it to do. But let's see, new updates. In conjunction with masking, related to the handling of masking when using normal TextMesh Pro objects. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Download the following description attached to a TextMesh Pro object, then make the following change to the update mask function. Just had to return to prevent it from doing whatever it's doing. Leave the rest the same. Oh, this is super great. Seems like there's a lot of trouble with masking. Maybe that. Oh man, was I being stupid? I might have been being stupid. Let's go ahead and come up here. We're gonna change our masking back to mobile masking. Distance field masking. And if we change this from character to paragraph, does that let us mask? Oh, I have the big label still there. Hold on. Nope. That's the same thing. Yarg. How lovely. Let's see. Mask texture. Come all the way up here. What did the mask bounds refer to? X and Y represent the center of the mask and object space, and W and H the width and height. Text mesh pro component with text containers. Important to understand the mask is defined by using material properties which are global to all objects using this material. In order to have masking coordinates for each object, I'm using material property block, which enables us to have unique masking coordinates per object. This does result in additional draw calls, as is similar to creating an instance of the material. In theory, this should do the trick. There's a bug with material property blocks. Some strict behavior, blah, 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 blah. This is all the way back from 2014, which is not exactly great. Masking is also defined by shader keywords. Here, material should be shared material. So wait, I actually have to activate these things via code? Ew. Well, that would be quite gross. Huh. Bounds plus extents changes bounds. Updated before. Okay. Well, I might move on to something a little less unknown to me, I suppose. That's really annoying. Very disappointing. Let's go ahead and actually, before we give up, let's try one last thing. Let's give it a texture. And let's just, for the sake of, fun, let's make it a built-in checkbox one. Oh, it's because it's not white. How about this? So, I was hoping that that would actually let us mask everything, but it doesn't seem to have done anything. Yay! Alright. Do I really have to do this? I'm still getting the mask font not appearing. Fix the game. Beta version. That is kind of annoying. So let's take a look at this again. See if I drag this in. If it'll even work, because it's from 2 years ago, probably. Day 2. I'm still scrolling through Chris's Twitter pictures. I seriously... Are you sure that's me? Because I cannot have 300 plus pictures. I honestly don't even think it's possible for me to have done that. Huh. Let's see. Masking example. Okay, are you going to open up? There we go. Ah, yeah, that's a stupid thing that I hate about Visual Studio and Unity. For some reason, if you have to have Visual Studio basically recompile the solution from Unity's side, it just like freezes and doesn't do anything. Do I seriously? Oh yeah, the cat. Okay, that's probably the one time that I took a picture of myself, actually. Wow, really? 302? That just seems like so much. Huh. Oh, actually, you know what? No, that makes sense, because when I was thinking of pictures, I'm like, I haven't taken that many pictures. It's a bunch of screenshots. That would make sense. Or that would make sense. Okay. Yep, completely forgot that I took a lot of screenshots of the game. So that's probably what most of those are. So, let's see. So we have Text Mesh Pro font. Oh, that's wonderful. Text Mesh Pro. Oh, how wonderful. TM Pro. Oh, great. Font asset is probably what it is. Dampening. Okay, well that's nothing then. Oh my goodness, does it really have to? And I have Steam open because of the summer sale. I should probably exit out of Steam. It's just like, everything's going wrong. Sorry, the Microsoft Creators Update was also just installed, and now I don't know how to operate anything on my freaking Windows machine. Alright. So, it does look like you have to manually enable these things. That is just the worst. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and try it. So we're going to let that compile. I'm not going to use that exact script. Instead, I'm going to make my own script for this. So let's go ahead and come up here to Wizard Speech. Yeah, I was putting it off for a while, but I did it last night, basically. Technically, I did it 2 nights ago, but then I had to sit through it last night for like the 40 minutes that it requires to actually update after you sign in for some reason. And yeah, I forgot that it messed with a bunch of your system settings. In fact, before the stream, it took me 5-10 minutes to reset up my microphone and all that because Windows was like, what do you need all that for? We know how to do that. And it was all wrong, of course. So let me see. I want to go to Wizard Speech. Come down here, and we're going to say create C# script. Text masking. For now, that's probably a good name. Good a name as any. I don't know how many pictures of my cat did I take. Surely I only took one. I didn't think I was that narcissistic of her. Yeah, I mean, the Creators Update really didn't have much for me. It just seemed like it was a lot of... Oh, yeah, see, this is the thing I was talking about. It wouldn't actually open up unless I came back over here. It's just a lot of internal tools that Microsoft already had, but they made better. But in all honesty, pretty much every Microsoft tool I've ever used, I've always been disappointed with because there's usually something better. Yeah, I honestly don't even know where my pictures are on Twitter. I haven't actually looked at my own profile. Oh yeah, I do have 316, I guess. I'm guessing you have to scroll down a lot to get to the cat photo. So, let's go ahead and come over here to masking examples. So we need to do it in start, it looks like. So let's go ahead and say private void start. And we're going to... let's go ahead and say public and then nothing because I need to come up here and say using TM Pro. Public text mesh pro. Does it need to be UGUI? We'll try it with the regular text mesh pro for now. We'll call it label. Alright, so we're going to say material mat is equal to label dot font material, I think. Let's see. Font material, yeah. Font material. Alright. We're going to say mat.enable shader keyword, or enable keyword, and I'm going to do this. I have 2 of my cat and her, or myself and my cat. Okay. Man, I don't even remember what they were. I remember what one of them was, but I don't remember what the other one was. It would have been a long time ago. And by a long time ago, I mean within the past, like, 4 years. All right. Let's see. So we want to do this too. And what's going to be super funny is I bet that none of these keywords actually work anymore. So that's great. Okay. Oh, you know what? I probably should just do this. Just do it directly to the font material. Oh, that was not what I wanted to do. There we go. Okay. I probably should do this here. So disable mask off. Oh, that's weird. He has a shader keyword for the mask not being on. That's kind of odd. All right. Is there anything else that I need to do? On material, shader offset. I don't think so. So I'm going to just try it with this and see if it does anything. I seriously doubt it will, but you never know. Let's go ahead and turn off this canvas. Huh. Yep. Still no idea of what those are. Let's see. Close this one. We're going to go ahead and add our text masking. Grab our label. Let's just try it. I don't even know. I seriously doubt it's going to do anything. Yep. It did nothing. Oh, nope. And we got shoved back. Ah, Text Mesh Pro. All I want to do is just have masking. Is that so much to ask? Apparently it is. Okay. Oh, is this the picture? Oh, there it is. Yeah, she has a tendency to crawl up onto my shoulders whenever I'm working at my computer. Less so now, but when she had a convenient post to jump onto me from, she would actually get up in the middle of my dev streams a lot and just sit on the back of my chair and meow, which was, super not distracting at all. So that didn't do anything. Let's try adding the update function here. And if it still does nothing, then I'm going to have to switch to something else because I clearly just have no idea what I'm doing here. So let's see, mframe, looks like I need a couple of private variables here. Let's come up here. Oh. Let's change this to say label text, I guess. Or not test, text. Where is label being used? It's not being used here. Okay. Interesting. Let's try this out. Yeah. They have a tendency to do that. Let's see. Okay, it's done compiling. Let's give it a shot. I doubt anything's going to happen. I've become a nihilist, saddened, broken. Oh, wait, it's constantly moving up. So. Wait. Did it? Is it culling? What's going on here? I don't know if it's good that it did something. It's so weird. Where is it? Does it just like keep going up? It just keeps going up. Let's turn off maximize on play. Interesting. So it kind of looks like what the masking the forum post was trying to do is different from the masking that I want. It looks like it was trying to do masking in the sense of like masking out an entire label, but not really in the way it was doing this. So it's masking out the entire phrase in, well, this is kind of what I want actually, but okay. Let's go over here. Let's grab our material. Masking, and let's just change it to be the check mark again. Okay. And, oh, interesting. It looks like it actually did mask it. I'm going to try playing again, and we're going to try to keep track of it, see if it actually masks as it moves. Oh, dang it. I don't see it, so either it's already moved way up past where we wanted it to go, or it's just not visible at all. Yeah, I think it's just not visible at all. If we let it go, it's probably not going to be... Cats are just cats. I don't think they have a concept of mean. So, this is very annoying. Harumph. I'm trying to think. Is there some other way that I could even do this without masking? I don't know if it's possible. Well, it technically is. So there's one other approach. I didn't want to do it because it would require instantiating a bunch of labels and trying to position them. So I would prefer not to do that, especially since it would look visually identical to having a single label that's just sized correctly. Well, let me think. Is there any effect that we could do? We might be able to fake it in a weird way. So let's go ahead and disable wizard speech. Get a look at the current thing. See if I can come up with a better way to do this. Maybe one that doesn't involve masking. No, and let's go ahead and maximize on play. So we get that. I think if we turn off our material on the walls, that will also help. But I need to stop watching. It's making me want to continue working on my game. Oh no! Don't be productive. What game are you working on? I should have asked that. That's another one of the staple questions I try to ask people, is if they're game developers themselves, or if they just like watching game development. Okay, so... See, part of the reason why I want to tile it is because if it's just scaled up like it currently is, you can see that it's going to clip occasionally. So back is clipping out to the left, and generally if it's 3 letters or less, I think it's fine. But anything longer like be gone is basically getting its exclamation point clipped. Actually, before this disappears, I want to come over here. All right. So here is that. I think if we... Oh, you know what? Let's turn you on. Let's revert you. Come back here. Let's go ahead and shrink our labels and such. So we're going to make this 4 and 1. Have this be shove. Alright, I'm just going to hit apply on this. Okay. And we'll do the same thing for our wizards. Was that Wizard Speech Castle that did that? No. Alright, so let's go ahead and make this 4 and 1. And, okay, so all that should be fine. I want to see what that looks like now, the text container. Because we might be able to actually use the text container to our advantage, even if we can't do masking. Productive at 1:30 a.m. What madness is this? Hey, some of my most productive hours have been after midnight. FPS paint gun type game with paint having different effects and stuff. Okay. My Unity game assignment this year for... Or your university game assignment this year for Unreal. Decided to rewrite in Unity instead, because Unreal smells. I wouldn't say it smells, it's just... It's got its own distinct workflow flavor. Some of which is, you know, compatible with Unity, and some of which is just some downright archaic. The model importing in Unreal is kind of ridiculous. It's certainly more in-depth, but I do feel like the simplicity that Unity has is a little bit better, or at the very least more approachable. Okay. So, oh. I've been going back and forth, and I just completely forgot to do what I wanted to do. So let's go ahead and spawn this up, and pause. Okay. Now I want to see what this looks like. Oh, right, I gotta do the label. Okay. So you can see that we're still getting a a little bit of a stretching problem here. It's still a little too long, which means that I actually... I wonder if I could do a fancy animation instead. So what if... Okay, so we're going to get way more over the top to compensate for my inability to do masking, apparently. So instead, I think what my approach is going to be, we're going to have the initial text, which is our big, or our center text here, that's going to appear. Then our large text will spawn out of that. And once the large text is in position, instead of having this magic texture be here, we're actually going to have another set of labels that will already be stretched to be what they need to be, and they're going to be tiled words. So it's going to say shove repeatedly and off repeatedly. And then those will just fade in from alpha, or from 0 alpha, to be very bright, then fade back to their base color, and then the move will start. So it's going to be like way more intense and a lot more sort of, I don't know how to describe it. I'm picturing like 1980 style Skeletor type magic almost. I don't know why I want to think of it like that, but I do. So I already had a lot of trouble with Unity to the point Unity was starting to get frustrating. For example, debugging suddenly Unity crashes for no reason. Yeah, it definitely happens. Definitely happens. Enjoyed some of the things that Unreal had to offer. Wasn't a huge fan of the script language. Just prefer to write actual code. That is true. C++ is the native code for Unreal, but I will tell you that one of the things that I don't like about Unreal, it's not that C++ is the coding language for it. I actually like that. It's that they put so much emphasis on blueprints in Unreal 4 that it's frustrating as a programmer to try and figure out how to do something in Unreal 4 because the answer 9 times out of 10 is just use blueprints. And I'm just like, I don't want to use blueprints. I want to code it. I can code something in 5 seconds. I don't want to have to make a freaking while loop graph thing in blueprints. I hate while loop graphs, or while loop graphs. I can't talk. In Unreal are so weird to me. I just can't wrap my head around a while loop in graph form. I can totally do it in code form. It's super easy. It's a couple of lines. But in graph form, it just trips me up because the arrow for the loop is on the right side, but it doesn't actually progress. It just means like it keeps going back. It's weird. So that's my big criticism of Unreal, is that their heavy emphasis on blueprints drives me nuts. That is true. Having the engine source code for Unreal is actually a really cool move on their part. At the same time, it's also ingenious because it means that there are bug fixes that they don't have to work on because the community will do it for free. Okay, so to do what I want, let's go ahead and get an initial shot of what it currently does. I'll walk you through it. And the cat just got up behind the monitors, apparently. Okay. And because of that, I forgot to talk. Okay. So, oh my god, cat. Yes, I get it. So once the large text on the side comes into position, we're going to create a bunch of other text behind it. So let's go ahead and say, stop playing. Now this is going to be the really tricky part. Let's see, we're going to go ahead and go to NPCs, wizard. Let's open this up. Close our masking examples. Those aren't going to be useful anymore. And we're going to get rid of our wall prefab because all of them are going to have the same speech prefab now. All right. So all of this is going to be the same. Everything from our scaling up and yada, yada, yada. We might end up shortening the amount of time between each thing, but for the most part, I think it's going to be fine. We don't need to change much code-wise. So after this last while loop, we're not going to be quite done yet. We're still going to have another while loop section. And let's see here. What do I want to call it? We're going to say t is equal to 0f, first off, while t is less than 1f, t plus equals time dot delta time, yield return null. All right, and so I need to come up here and add a variable for another duration, so wall duration, and we'll call this public float. Wall duration is already in use, and that's what I would kind of expect, actually. Let's rename this to scale duration. wall duration, so I can use wall duration here. Is equal to, again, we'll have it be 1f. These are going to need to be really quick because they happen in sequence. So come down here, I'm going to say divided by wall duration. And then Unity locks away something behind a paywall, even though things you probably won't use a lot. It's still stupid. Yeah, I mean, they've gotten a lot better about that. After Unity 5 came out, they've basically just been trying to give out as much of their free support as possible, largely because the thing that they shifted for Pro is that Pro just gets priority on services. So things like Unity Cloud Build and all that stuff and customer support, that's what Pro gets you. It doesn't really get you much in terms of feature sets anymore. It does come up occasionally, but... And yes, I am terrible at naming things, like Wizard Plow Trigger. I always get frustrated with my inability to come up with good names. In any case, so... Gotta think real quick. I really don't want to have it just be a prefab, but it might need to just be a prefab. Growth. Alright, so let's come up here. I will have a second speech prefab. It's still going to be a wizard speech, and it's not going to really need much besides that. And this one I will call wall prefab, so I will actually end up needing two walls, or two prefabs. And the only reason I'm doing that this way, or doing it this way, is because it'll let me scale everything appropriately and then make a prefab. So I don't have to try and calculate its scale at runtime. Because honestly, I'm not entirely sure how I would want to do that. So this would just give me a little bit more fine-tuned control. Let's see here. Even with some of my dislikes, use Unity for another side project, grand strategy game. I mean, yeah, for all of its shortcomings, things like Unity and Unreal, even if you don't like being forced to use sort of these prepackaged engines, the convenience and efficiency that they offer is pretty much the thing that trumps everything else. Because obviously using a pre-built engine is going to be way faster than trying to build your own. And then having to tweak everything and then trying to, do bug fixes on your engine while you're making your game. So I think that's the reason why a lot of people have, gotten onto the Unity and Unreal train. I do worry for long-term ramifications what that means, because I like it when a company does put in the effort to make a custom game engine for their game, but I also understand that it's a huge expense. But it's really cool to see that when a company does that. That was one of my big things with Kojima Productions when they did Metal Gear Solid 5. They were making the Fox engine, and it was the coolest thing ever to see those video updates of, like, this is the rendering pipeline that we're doing, and this is how we do all this stuff, and can you tell the difference between this photo and then this is the in-game rendering? It's like, it's so cool. But that's kind of a dying art, I feel. Engine programming, mostly because it's things like Unreal and Unity exist. In any case, so we're going to go ahead and say, do I want to have a new one? Nah, it'll be fine. Left wall label, blah, blah, blah. Oh, right, I do need to keep track of them, though. So, dang it. Renaming this to left plow label. Because, again, I'm great at coming up with names, obviously. Plow. And then I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to use the exact same name that I just replaced. Wall label. Wall label. Alright. Let's see. So we're going to come down here, and we're going to say left wall label is equal to Unity object pool. Oh, sorry, did that wrong. Is equal to pool manager dot request wizard speech, and then we're going to say wall prefab, and here we're also going to say left wall, I believe. So we're going to parent it directly to the wall in both cases. That way, again, we don't have to worry about positioning. Let's see. I could also use the engine I'm working on, but that will take quite some time. Yeah. I still think it's super weird to have the phrase wizard plow. I I kind of want to put that on a t-shirt and just let people question me on what it means. And then I can just say, "Oh, what? You don't know what wizard plow means?" Um, all right. So let's see here. Sorry, cat wanted attention. Left wall label. So we've instantiated them, and now we need to actually set them up correctly. So this is where it's going to get weird. I have to programmatically just tell how many or how much space I have left to fill in words. So we're gonna have to do this. While, well, and actually before we do anything else, we'll say left wall label dot color is equal to new. Well, actually no, we'll say is equal to wall color. Let's go ahead and duplicate that for our right wall label color is equal to wall color. Okay, and we're actually going to change. I'm going to do it on the same line. Dang it! It's going to make it so much longer. New color, wall color dot r. I'm just going to copy and paste this a bunch. Wall color dot g, wall color dot b, and then 0f. So we're going to have it be completely transparent to start, and then we're going to have it quickly fade in to be super bright and then go back down to being semi-transparent. That way it has this sort of like shing type of effect. I had to make a sound effect because I don't know how to describe it. I'm sorry. All right, let's see here. So we're going to initially set up those colors, and now we have to do a while loop. So we're going to say while left wall label dot, and this is where it's going to get kind of nasty. We're also going to set left wall label dot text is equal to empty, and then right wall label dot text is equal to nothing as well. Let's see. So dot label dot, is it text info? Text info. Yeah. Okay. So this is this is going to be weird, and it's going to require a lot of information on my part, or guessing on my part, to get it to work right. Label dot text info. So this is tmp text info, tmp text info, left info is equal to this. All right, we're going to duplicate this and use it for the right label. So right info. Did I make up a new word? No. I think I made the sound effect shing, but aside from that, let's see. Also, yarg is not a made-up word, or at least I didn't make it up. That is a pre-existing exclamation. As is fooey. Let's see here. So, left and right info, what these are, tmp underscore text info. This is a class that TextMesh Pro uses to basically give you information on everything about the text that it contains. I think we can do, so left info dot, so we can do individual character counts, so how many letters it has. I'm most curious to see if we can get our actual bounds. So text component, word count, word info. I thought we could. It's not page info, is it? No. Mesh info? No. Well, dang it. Well, let's set up the visual part of this before we get into the code to show you what I'm trying to do. Let's turn on our collider. Let's grab our wizard. Prefab again. As soon as it compiles, obviously. Well, when you can't think of the word for something, or if you can't think of how to describe something, then you just say it. Let's see. So we have the wizard speech castle, and actually back here at the wizard. Dragon wizard speech. And wizard speech, that's fine. So wizard speech castle will be our new thing. Let's go ahead and drag this in. Oh, really? It's that far back? No, then why did you... Okay, whatever. I guess I'll zero that out. I should zero this one out too. All right. So this is where it's going to be. Let's go ahead and open up our label. And now we're going to set its bounds, or its size, more appropriately. So let's go to 20. That's actually a little bit much. Let's go to 15. Almost. It's probably fine for now. So we're going to go to 15, and the height will be, I'm guessing 5 should be enough. Yeah, 5 looks pretty much perfect. All right. And here's the tricky part, is that it's basically going to have to just sort of loop like this. Interesting. Do I have... Oh, it's because it's getting clipped. I was like, why can't I see it? Okay. So the real trick here is going to be trying to basically take up the entirety of our size. So this is going to be interesting. Let's go ahead and delete all of this. And actually, we'll start by having our alignment be at the top right on this label, because it's going to have to behave kind of oddly. Let's go ahead and apply. Okay, so I'm going to try to, yeah, all gets. Google, it's yard, looks at first. Semi-hard cheese. Yard or yarg? It's yarg with a G. Y-A-R-G. In any case, so we're going to have to use the line height for our text to figure out how many times we have to type the word for each thing. So we're going to say left info dot, so we have character count, character info. We want line info, I believe. Maybe. I don't even know if that actually will give us something. If I do line info 0 dot, do I get a height? I get a line height. Okay. So we get a line height. And from there, I think we can try to expand it. Let me check this out. Can I have line height here? No. Okay. So this is gonna be kind of like a little bit of guesswork. Yeah, yard is, yeah, that's a measurement, or a patch of grass in front of a house. Let's see. Left info dot line height. I don't honestly know if this will even work, but we'll try it. So I'm going to, just as a test case, we're going to say debug, oops, dot log, not divide log, dot log. All right, so we're going to check out what that line height is, and if it says nothing, then it means, or if we get a null reference, then it means that it won't work without having text set first, which will be very annoying, and quite difficult to work around, honestly. So I'll give it a second. Nope, we got it. There was a debug in there. I think it said 0. Okay. That's actually the other scenario that I was fearing. Because that means that I have to wait 1 frame before we can calculate it. Jeez, that sucks. Alright, let me cheat a little bit, and we're going to say is equal to... Oh, how did I do this before? Left label dot text. Oh, I guess I can do that. That's a good point. Left label dot text. Right label dot text. All right, we're gonna have to do a yield here. Yield return null. And I'm gonna comment that out. Maybe I'll be lucky and I won't have to yield for a frame, but I think I'm going to have to yield for a frame. I could blame things on a lack of sleep. If only I slept a couple hours, last 48 hours, because it's 30 degrees in my room. It's too hot. Well, I mean, if you're saying it's too hot at 30 degrees, that means that you're using Celsius. Let's see here. Because 30 degrees Fahrenheit is below freezing. And if you're hot in that case, you are Mr. Freeze. Yep, there was the 0. Alright. Let's uncomment that. That's the one shortcoming about TextMesh Pro's text info system, is that it does require a frame buffer. I might be able to actually force a mesh update, but I'm not sure how clean that would be. Yeah, it's been hot all around. Did I miss it? I didn't see it. Ah, there it is. Well, that's not what I was hoping for. How wonderful. Actually, oh wait, hold on. No. What the heck? Where are you? Why can't I see you? Oh, it's probably, I'm guessing, because the label is using the masking. Oh no, it's because it's transparent. Duh. Yeah. Belgium had the same wave as the UK for how long it will be united. Yeah. That's some gallows humor. I guess I wouldn't call it gallows humor. Just dark humor. The concept of a divided United Kingdom would be quite odd to think about. In any case. Yeah. And yeah, I know. America definitely does not make sense when it uses its measurement systems. I still don't know why we don't just use the freaking metric system. Actually, I do understand why, because it would take so much effort to actually do so that it's kind of not worth it for the government to do so. Despite how much it would be nice, it's definitely got... The problem isn't the system, the problem is switching systems. Okay, so... yeah, that's not quite what I was hoping for. If I were to change this color to be fully done... What? Oh, right. There we go. Why didn't it scale? Oh, I know why. Because I totally put the wrong prefab in there. There we go. I was going to say, why isn't it in the right spot? Hot day for you is 56 degrees or 59 degrees Fahrenheit. That is not a hot day. That's a nice day. Let's see here. Just gonna make sure that it's even in the right spot. Doesn't matter. There we go. So yes, that kind of works. And that does give us the height of 0.78. Maybe that is actually correct. Okay. So we can use that height to determine how many rows we could roughly do. And then we'll need to use the width to determine how many... I guess we'll actually know the cache or the rect transform width and height. Okay. From there, I think we can determine how much... how many times we can use off horizontally. So let's try that. Let's see here. And let's also debug. Let's do a string.format. It'll be much easier to read. String.format. dot format, comma, not a period. All right. So I'm still getting used to that sound. Thank you, whoever subscribed or followed. I forget what it is in Twitch. I think it's following. I think subscription costs money. I don't remember. In any case, so I need to figure out the width and do stuff with that. So, I didn't know that. All right, well, thank you very much for stopping by. Wait, let me try to say it. Like, Calware. Was that right? Calware. I want to say. Hopefully I got it right this time. So, all right. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully it was interesting enough, despite the fact that I pretty much haven't made any progress in 2 hours. But let's see. Dang it! Is it call where? Or call where? Call with. Call where? Call where? Call where? Ah, I need phonetics. I got it once, except I said like a couple of things in that time span, so I don't know if I actually. One of these days, I promise, I will get it. In any case. Well, both of you guys enjoy it. I might actually... Cool. Oh, cool. Oh, right. Cool. Okay. Oh. Right. Cool. Coolware. I'll get it. One of these days. Yes. Either way. Let's see. I might also sign off, actually. Just because I would like to do a little bit more research into masking, and also I have some things I need to do before the end of the day, and it's 9 o'clock here, so that's almost end of the day in terms of actually being able to talk to people. So, yeah. So we got some stuff done today. We figured out that masking in TextMesh Pro is way more difficult than it should be. So, yeah. I didn't realize that the Welsh had a train station with an incredibly long name. Okay then. Well, you learn something new every day. Let's see. And actually, before we finish up, can I do left info dot line info of 0 dot? Is there a width? I don't think there's a width, but I guess that doesn't really matter. Actually, the length might be good to know. And then the last thing we need to do is left info dot, not line info, but just character info. Is that a 0? That's the individual characters. All right. So yeah, we can get our width and depth, and that's probably good enough. Oh my gosh, that's the first time that the Nightbot what's it called? Like timer has gone off. Hooray! We've actually had enough people talking, or enough conversation topics to actually make it interesting, and actually have the Nightbot wake up. Cool. Well, that makes me happy. Let's debug this information, and then we'll probably call it a night. And then I will continue to work on this. But because I feel terrible about the fact that it's always happening, or that I'm trying to do something that I don't know how to do, I kind of get self-conscious. So let's see here. We want, where are you? 2.4? That doesn't seem right. How could it be 2.4? It's like 15. Oh, that's how wide it is. Okay. That's actually useful. Good. Good. That tells me everything I need to know. So with those two values, I now know my width and height of the word that gets set, basically. And then I can use that to determine how many times I need to repeat it. Cool. So let's go ahead. I might actually try to do that real quick. And Let's go ahead and just say for int I. No, 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 no. I guess we're gonna say float height is equal to left info dot line info of 0 dot height. Okay, and then we're going to say while height is less than left wall label dot rect. Ah, jeez, seriously. Well, that's disgusting. So, all right, that's gonna be a little bit more cumbersome than I would like. So that's probably a good place to end for the day. We didn't make a lot of progress in the sense that we didn't get a lot done, but we did actually accomplish a lot of information gathering. So I'm enthusiastic about being able to mess with this and get everything set up. Hopefully by next Tuesday, I'll actually be able to get the text populating and fading in and doing that nice effect. And we'll try to get that in a presentable state because I would like to finish this wall stuff up. I was hoping to finish it up tonight, but obviously because I was hoping to do so tonight and ended up not doing it, or my own incompetence prevented it from happening. So, yeah, it's going to be a good place to stop for the night just because I have to do a lot of stuff that's going to be a lot of me doing hms and haws. So, any announcements? I'm not going to be doing a Devstream on Saturday this weekend. I have a friend visiting, so I won't be able to do so. But we'll come back at our regular streaming on Tuesday next week at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And we will continue off where we've left off here, or, well, with a little bit more progress, obviously. So, as always, I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.